So you're starting uni and you're going to live away from home for the first time. I have got the tips that you need to be able to get through the next few years of your life without a glitch. Welcome newbies, welcome returning viewers. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the top tips that you need to get through uni. So the first top tip is learn to cook. If you don't know how to cook, please learn to cook. There are lots of people on TikTok, YouTube that you can follow for quick, easy, simple recipes. One of my friends has an app called Foodable and you can follow them on Instagram as well. And they've got quick recipes of like 2 or 3 ingredients that you can use to make your recipes. There's lots of people, just find somebody that you like and learn to cook and get into the kitchen, because it's way too expensive right now to live off takeaway. I mean, if you've got the money, great, but most of you probably won't, so don't waste all your maintenance loan on takeaways, okay? Tip number 2, utilize your student discounts. Get the Student Beans app, Uni Days app, any student discount app. Just do it, use it for everything. The NUS card for 3 years, the railway card you can get I think 1/3 of the price off. You can get your coach card discounted if you take the coach a lot to go home. Utilize the fact that you're a student, ask for discounts everywhere you go, because most shops would usually do 10%, 20%. Most shops do about 20% student discounts online and in person. All you have to do is make sure that you've obviously got your student card and your student email if you're doing online. Discounts will be your best friend for the next 3 years. This one I'm not too keen on, but only if you really need to. Open a student account with your bank so that you have an overdraft that you can lean into if you need it. But I wouldn't recommend it if you've got a lot of money coming your way anyway. You should be able to budget and spend very wisely so that you don't need an overdraft. But if you are struggling with money and you are struggling even with good budgeting and good saving, maybe a student account might be helpful. I didn't have one in my undergrad. I've only got one now that I'm doing my masters because I genuinely need it. But you also do have to pay that money back, otherwise you'll be living in your overdraft, which is not nice. Tip number 4, do your essays at least a month in advance if you can. I feel like in first year most of us do have a lot of free time. I had so much free time on my hands I didn't even know what to do with it. If you can, normally at the start of the year when you do your induction and you get handbooks online and stuff like that, you will normally get all your assignments already written in your handbook. So from the start of the year they probably would have already decided what the assignment is. If they haven't, that's fine. As soon as you find out, get on it. But if you can, look through your handbooks, read through them, the guidance modules, whatever, the guidance handbooks, whatever you want to call them. Look through them, look at all the assignments, write them down, stick them on your wall or have them somewhere where you can read them. Plan ahead. Do it early so that you can go to your guidance tutor and ask for help. You can talk to your classmates who know what to do, and so that you're not rushing at the end of it, because doing an assignment last minute is never fun. It's not worth it. So yeah, try and do everything a month in advance. It saves you so much stress when everyone is like, have you done the assignment? Have you done the assignment? And you'll be like, yeah, and you're chilling. You know, use your time wisely. If you start a month in advance, you could probably do like a paragraph a week, or you can do like, 500 words a week, so that by the time you're done and it's time to hand in your assignment, you've done your 2,000 words, your 3,000 words, or how many other words you need to do. That way you're a lot less stressed, I promise you. Tip number 5, meet with your lecturers if necessary. They know best what to expect from the assignment because they're the ones that set the assignment. Some lecturers are very nice and welcoming and are happy to help. Some are so stingy and will never reply to emails. Some don't want to help at all because they expect you to know it all. But I'm like, if I knew it all, I wouldn't be doing the degree, would I? But anyway, meet with them, email them, ask them for their timetables, and go meet with them and talk to them about the essay. Of course, there's only so much help they can give you. Increases your chance of getting a first or a 2-1 in every essay that you do. Next tip, utilize the uni's counselling services. A lot of universities do have a counsellor at the university or counsellors at the university that are for free and are specifically for the students. I imagine as well, maybe the staff as well, but I imagine they're specifically for the students. So if you are struggling with your mental health, being away from home, or struggling to make new friends, or you've made friends, or you've had relationships at uni that are just not going well, or they've hurt you, then going to a counsellor can really help. And also if you're struggling with anything academic, a counsellor would really help you, that you can meet with on a weekly basis, and they will usually be based on campus anyway, so it's not like you're going to have to travel far to see them anyway. Another tip, speak to your lecturers or the careers advisor in regards to what to do after uni, in regards to maybe going to further education or going straight into your career. Your lecturers are people that have worked in their field and they know the field and how to get into the field, so they probably are the best people to speak to. I went to a careers advisor at uni and I can't lie, it was useless. She literally sat there and googled how to become a counsellor while I was sitting right there, and went on the websites that I went on when I was at home. I was like, what's the point? So for me personally, I feel like you'd probably gain a lot more from going to your lecturer or your tutor, because they work in that career, they know what it's like, and they've worked in it, and they might even be one of the leaders in that field. So go to them and ask them, you know, the best way, maybe any connections, any way of networking. Next tip, money. Your maintenance loan. Maintenance loan. Think carefully what you're going to do with that money. I know it's tempting to go on a shopping spree. I know it's tempting to get that thing that you've been wanting. I know it's tempting to get your PS5 or whatever else. But think wisely with what you're going to do with your maintenance loan, okay? Maybe you might want to save some of it. You might want to invest some of it. You might want to use a small portion for something specific. Whatever you do, just try not to spend it all at once. Begin a side hustle if you must. I know a few people who really succeeded well by starting a business while they were at uni, and now they're multi-millionaires because they started a business in uni. Not saying that you have to, but if I had this sense that I do now, I would have used my time a lot more wisely and my money a lot more wisely while at uni. Probably started my side hustles back then and got further than I am now. But anyways, now that you're there, I'm giving you this advice. Think about what you want to do with that money. Don't just spend it all, don't just splash it all. Even if your friends are doing that, going on a night out, spending £200, it's not really the smartest thing to do. You know, saving, investing, whatever it is, it's your money, of course, do whatever you want with it. But I'm just saying, think twice. I know it's fun and it's amazing having that much amount of money. Think twice. Think 3 times. Another tip, create a study timetable. Because if you don't write it down, the chances are you're probably not going to do it, and I've mentioned this before. So try your best to create a study schedule, whether it's I go to the library 1 hour a day, or I go to the library 1 day a week, maybe on the Saturday or Sunday, and get all my work done, go over my lecture notes, whatever it may be. Just try and create a kind of study schedule so that you're not behind on anything. And if there's anything you don't understand, you can always speak to your lecturer or your friends. If you've got friends on your course, that would help a hell of a lot. So try and take your study seriously. I know it's obviously not the easiest thing to do. You know, you're at uni, you want to hang out with your friends all the time, but try to take some time to yourself and focus on what you actually came to uni for, which is to study. Remember that. So a lot of people obviously get jobs when they are at uni, and if you can get a job that's related to the career that you want to go into, try and get that. Rather than a regular retail job or waitressing job, try and get a job that's specific to the career that you want to go in, because obviously that's something you can put on your CV. If you gain enough experience from that in the future, that will help you to land a job when you graduate. So if you're doing maybe a social sciences course of some sort, check that your course is accredited. I know, like, maybe lawyers as well, some of your courses, I don't know if lawyers have to have an accredited course, but if you're doing certain courses, check if they need accreditation. Obviously psychology is one of those courses that needs to be accredited. Check that it's accredited. If you're already at uni and you start a course and it's not accredited, it's not too late to switch. But also be aware that you can get an accreditation after you finish if you're doing like a psychology degree. It's not the worst thing in the world. Don't live with your friends. Don't do it. I remember it's all I kept hearing in first year. Don't live with your friends, don't live with your friends, don't live with your friends. And what did I do in second year? I lived with my friends. And what did it do? Almost ruined our friendship. Yeah, it was hard. Like, it's not worth it. I wouldn't recommend it unless you guys have similar levels of tidiness. You've been to their place and you kind of see how neat or messy they are, and you're okay with that, and you guys are on similar levels of that. But sometimes it's not even about tidiness, it's just about the way people live. Are they loud? Are they quiet? Do they have a lot of people over? Do they cook a lot? What's their schedule like? Do they stay up at night? Do they wake up early in the morning? Do they exercise? Like, it's not just obviously about that. Even just basic manners and respect. Do they take your stuff without asking? Do they cook your food without asking? Things like that. So it's not just about tidiness, but for me, tidiness was a big factor, and that's what literally got us almost ending our friendship because of that. Yeah, so it's just not worth it moving in with your friends. It's probably better for you to move in with people you don't know, or to just live on your own if you can afford it. Because after that experience, I literally was like, nope, I'm not doing this again. So I lived in by myself in final year, and it was amazing and I loved it. The last tip I have for you guys is to think about life after university, because honestly I don't think a lot of people think about what they want to do after uni until graduation. Do you want to move back home? Do you want to move out? Do you want to start your masters? Do you want to take a gap year? What do you want to do? Because I remember for me, I didn't think that far ahead, and then when I realized I had to come home, coming home was very difficult. Readjusting back to life at home and not having the freedom that you had and being treated like you were when you first left home, it's not nice. I think a lot of people's mental health dips when they move back home because you realize that, okay, I can't be myself. Because 3 years away from home, you've grown and you've changed as a person. To come back home to people that don't see that change in you, it's quite frustrating. So if you do plan on moving out after uni, start saving up now, start thinking about where you want to live, and you know, if you want to even stay in the city that you're in, if you're in a different city, do you want to stay there and live there? Like, think about all those things and just have a plan for your future outside of the career that you want to do. So because this is a new term, I've also got a video on advice for psychology students. So if you're doing psychology, you can watch the video that is linked below. See you guys next week. Bye.